Hello my friends, I'm Rich Larson and I'm the IRC Tire Guy. Today we are starting the first of a multi-episode Endurocross technique breakdown series. Now the first round of the 2021 season went down last weekend in Tulsa, Oklahoma, and you can watch our recap right here. But more than anything, something I'm very excited about as I was present at the first round is seeing the continued growth of this sport. I'm an Endurocross enthusiast. The beauty of this sport is the amateurs race on the same night and on the same track as the pros. I, as well as many of the other top riders, came from the amateur ranks. This is an opportunity for you brave off-road enthusiasts to step into the spotlight and test your skills. How many opportunities will you get to share the same track with the best in the world? Now, of course, it can be a terrifying thing to sign up for the first time. Maybe before you pull that trigger, I can help you with your training and approach on some skills that you need when you get out on that Endurocross track. So today, we'll start with one of the most dreaded Endurocross obstacles, the matrix. The matrix is a staggered section of logs. Every Endurocross round will have a different matrix. Of course, the reason this section is so dreaded is the various lengths in between each log. Some being almost the exact size of your machine's wheelbase, some being just under that length. The most challenging thing about this section is finding that rhythm in these randomly staggered logs. You'll see the top guys make mistakes in the matrix. It's usually one of the hardest sections on the course. There's a lot that goes into your execution of the matrix. An understanding of momentum, body position, of course, throttle and clutch control, as well as a deep understanding of front tire placement, which we will get into in today's episode. But starting simply, let's make sure you're in that correct body position. Again, you'll see a loose flowing attack position. My hips are back, I'm on the balls of my feet, and I'm approaching the obstacle with momentum. The more steady our speed is, the more we can almost rely on our suspension to handle the blows of each log. I'm gently blipping the throttle and feathering or releasing the clutch before each log, almost like mini double blips. I want the front tire to gently glide off the halfway point of each log rather than bashing into the face of each log. This is where the importance of finding that compression and rebound with your suspension comes into play. Your suspension will assist you in getting that front tire lift so as not to use 100% throttle and clutch. This allows for a more consistent traction as well as saving your energy. My personal focus in the matrix is less about squeezing with my knees and almost letting the bike move under me more. I've found a looser grip with my knees is helpful. Each time the front tire rebounds off the log, in the sequence, the ability to correct those deflections from left to right is extremely improved. Now, within that front tire placement, we break down that precision of your front tire placement itself. This is one of the most important aspects of the matrix, and honestly, really complicated to explain. With that precision, you'll find consistency and stability with the rebound of your machine, allowing you to travel straight and true through this section. Usually, when approaching a new matrix for the first time, we use a technique loosely called tire tapping. Front tire taps are the safest and most consistent way to proceed through the matrix. This involves precise placement of the front tire, not too high and not too low on each log. If the front tire is placed too low, the bike will compress and rebound too much, causing inconsistent deflection and placement on the next logs. If the tire is placed too high, the suspension won't rebound, causing the tire to drive too far forward into the next log. This can also cause the rear linkage to hang up on the same log the front tire missed, creating more inconsistency. My focus in any matrix is on finding the minimum rebound required off each log. What I mean by this is if your bike is rebounding too high after the front tire placement on each log, you'll find your ability to properly place the front tire on the next log will be greatly reduced due to the increased distance the front tire needs to travel after its maximum rebound. The higher your tire rebounds, the harder it is to place your front tire accurately on the next log. This technique of tire placement requires an approach similar to the holding pressure technique we have broke down in the past, which you can check out right here. Another important tip that should be mentioned is the gap in between each log in the sequence dictates the height in which you should rebound your front tire. This is another challenging aspect to explain. When the log gap is smaller than a bike length, the front tire will naturally land clean on the next log in the sequence. But if the gap in the log sequence is the same or longer than the machine's wheelbase, a higher and longer carry of the front tire is required. If this higher carry of the front tire is not achieved, the front tire will drop before the front of the log in the matrix sequence, causing a reduction in momentum, a full compression and rebound of the machine's suspension, or worst case, a complete stop. Notice the difference in the front tire height in a 3-foot gap, a 4-foot gap, and a 5-foot gap. This is that holding pressure technique we spoke about. Hips and weight back for traction and that smooth, precise placement. Again, no matter the gap, the goal is to keep the front tire as low as possible for efficiency. Now, if you happen to drop your front tire and get stuck, I have some tips on that as well. In the case of a complete stop, the goal should be to regain momentum and continue forward. To achieve this, the best option is pulling the machine back as far as possible. If the gap behind your rear tire is large enough, even placing the front tire on top of the log and using the stuff and smash technique we've broke down in the past will work perfectly. That video can also be seen right here. Pull the bike back, adjust the weight in your hips as far back as possible for traction, increase RPMs, and release the clutch as you drive your weight forward. The same technique is required even when your ability to pull the machine back is impossible due to the log behind your rear tire. But a more focused transfer of your weight to the rear tire is required to find that traction and explode forward with consistency. The matrix takes time to fully figure out. It requires a lot of practice and a lot of hard work. I know I've bruised my hips more than once when training for Endurocross. Put in the time and hammer down. I know you're capable. I hope to see you guys at the upcoming Endurocross series this year. We hope these techniques and tip breakdowns are helping you guys progress in your skills. If you're enjoying the channel, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, as well as follow us on Instagram at IRC Moto and my personal Instagram page at RichLarson511. And until next time, keep shredding.